bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Dario, and in tonight's game plan, we'll break down the winning debut of the Vanguard Volley hitters in the Spikers Turf Open Conference.
We'll also list down some of the top performers during the PBA Governors Cup opening week. And we'll hear the latest news in the upcoming PVL All-Filipino Conference. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. A new breed of men's volleyball talent has made its entrance in the Spikers Turf. Now, here to tell us more about the newest team in the league are the Vanguard volley hitters themselves, Richard Tolentino, Jonathan Sorio, Tomeo Teodones, and Coach Erickson Ramos. Gentlemen, welcome to the game. Unang-una, congratulations. First game, mga defending champion tinalo nyo. No big deal naman. Coach, paano nangyari yun? Kasi, syempre, bagong team, bagong grupo, karamihan sa mga players mo, hindi pa naglalaro sa Spikers Turf. So, how did you achieve yung panalo na yun?
Siguro po, talagang pinaghirapan lang po namin yung sa preparation namin, sa training po namin. And then yung mga bata, gusto din naman po kasi talaga. And then, desidido po silang mag-training. Tapos, and then, yung sa game, lumabas naman yung mga pinaghirapan namin, yung pinag-trainingan namin. Kaya ayun, maganda naman yung performance ng mga bata at nanalo namin. At
And
nanalo po.
1-0 agad, no, to start off your Spikers Turf campaign dito. Now, Richard, let's start it off with you. Kamusta yung, ano yung naging mindset nyo? NU agad yung kalaban nyo, defending champions, but you guys played well, forced the 5 sets.
Siguro po, napagtulong-tulungan lang din po namin. Yung na-apply po namin yung bawat na-ensayo namin. Tapos, kaya siguro nagawa po naming manalo dun sa NU.
Jay, may kababa? May kababa yung debut ng team or as a group, as a collective? Kasi, syempre, yung mga nakakalaban nyo, naglaro na dito dati. And then, of course, may konting experience na dito. So, ano yung feeling ng buong team?
Masaya kami pero may kaba naman talaga sa umpisa sa game kasi first game namin siya sa liga tapos champion kagad yung mga kalaban namin. So, in-enjoy lang namin. Ginawa naman namin yung maayos.
And Jonathan, yung team nyo ngayon, ano yung madadala nyo sa tingin nyo dito sa Spikers Turf? Bagong team kayo pero nagpakilala kayo agad.
Siguro po, ang madadala namin is yung kung ano yung meron samahan kami ngayon. Kasi hindi rin po biro yung pinagdaanan namin. Kumbaga, konting oras lang ng training namin pero nagawa po namin lahat ng mga pinapagawa sa amin ng mga coaches po.
Okay, na-curious ako eh.
Yan.
Anong di biro? Ano ba nangyari in the lead up to yung tournament na to?
Kumbaga parang hindi po sapat yung time ng training namin as nag-start kami mid ng December. Tapos parang start na ng Spikers Turf. So ayun pa, kumbaga parang lahat nagmamadali, nag-double time po kami lahat.
Na-pressure siya.
Oo nga. Pero coach, parang di naman pressured yung team nung kalaban niya yung NU. Pero coach, ano yung sinabi niyo sa team? Very close game, 5th set, comeback victory. Ano yung sinabi mo sa team, pinaremind mo sa kanila para makuha niyo yung panalo against NU?
Ang sinabi ko lang naman po sa kanila nun, gawin nyo lang kung ano yung mas makakatulong sa team. Pag-usapan nyo lang kung paano makukuha yung panalo. Kasi sayang naman po yung first set na nakuha namin, pangalawang set. At saka nakinig naman din yung mga bata. Nakinig lang sila kung ano yung mga instruction na binibigay po namin. Kaya ayun po, kaya nanalo naman po.
Buti naman, no? Richard, nagulat ka ba sa resulta? Because again, defending champs, hindi natin alam kung anong expectations ng grupo na to kasi bago lang siya. And a lot of players, not necessarily experienced. So nagulat ka ba sa resulta, honestly?
Honestly po, nagulat at the same time po, tinrabaho po kasi namin talaga eh. Yung lalo sa ensayo. Tsaka siguro ang lamang lang din po namin sa kanila is daw bago po kaming team, pero yung mga mostly sa members po nun, puro mga veterano na rin po talaga. Mga well-experienced na rin po.
Right. And JM, next na makakalaban nyo, VNS on Wednesday. Di rin biro yung kalaban nyo na yun.
Yeah.
Paano nyo pinapaghandaan yung game na to? Tsaka yung mga next games dito sa Spikers Turf?
Naghahanda namin siya pag sa training kasi. the day before the game, review lang kami ng mga set plays, mga ano. Tas focus lang kami sa pinapagawa sa amin.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you here, and hopefully we can have you more here, especially if you find more success throughout the rest of the Spikers turf. Maraming salamat. Great start, and excited to see what your next games will be like. Maraming salamat.
Mga idol, thank you. You can catch the Spikers Turf Open Conference every Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays live on One Sports Plus Signal Play and Smart Live Stream. And after the break, we'll find out who made the list for the PBA Governors Cup Team of the Week. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. You're watching The Game. We are 1 week into the PBA Governors Cup and several names have made their opening statements to the league. Joining us tonight to give us his picks for the PBA's Team of the Week is 8-time PBA champ, the Jet, Jeffrey Carriazo. Coach, welcome back to The Game. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me, Paolo. Thanks for having me.
No problem, Coach. Always a pleasure. And of course, I just want to emphasize that this is Coach Jeff's pick and not our
An
pick,
official
not an
PBA
official
list,
PBA
right?
pick. Yeah, we don't want to get Coach Jeff into trouble or get ourselves into trouble. So let's start off here first with, I think, one of the most obvious picks, because we're picking from the locals here, Coach.
Right.
And Converge have been flying.
Right.
And you have to say, Maverick Ahanmisi is one of the guys that we got to talk about here today.
Right. Oh, most definitely. So, my basis for the 5 is really how they performed last week. If you're
Right.
a PBA fan, you love PBA last week because every day there was a game.
Yep.
Right.
So you got to start with Converge and what they did last week, going 3-0. Big part of that, their best local scorer, Maverick Ahanmisi. So, you know, you can't deny the fact that he played well. He was consistent. You know, his numbers were like 31, and he
Right.
had 16, and then 22 against Magnolia
Yeah.
to end the week.
Yeah.
So that consistency is what is the level that I want him to be at almost every game.
And coach, he's been very aggressive too the past couple of games. And you coached him. Have
Right.
you seen this from him before when he was still playing?
I have.
Yeah.
So he's capable of it. And you know what I love about him and why the guys love him also, very unselfish.
Right.
And when you're on the court, he plays hard and he gives their best and he plays both ends, right? How rare is that you have guys that
Yeah.
play both ends?
Yeah.
So I hope he keeps it up, and it's only going to be better for Converge if he does.
Yeah, and of course, he's also one of the better TikTok follows out there for
That's
the PPA
true.
players.
A lot
Yeah.
of content.
A
yes,
lot of
for sure.
content there.
All right, let's move on to the next player on your list, Coach. Kevin Alas, another guard from the NLEX Road Warriors.
Right.
Always aggressive. I love his story, coming back from an injury, but
Yeah.
still playing very well here for NLEX.
Yeah, Kevin Alas, his team went 2-0 last week.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, that's our basis. So that means a lot to me. So him understanding that playing at that level that he did last week is where he needs to be.
Yeah.
So Kevin has to kind of walk like it, think like it,
Right.
have that attitude that I'm one of the main guys and I'm going to carry that team. Naturally, he's a very humble guy, very cool guy. He gets along with everyone, so there's no issue there.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about walking into the game and understanding that, Kev, you got to be the man every game. And that's my challenge to him.
You know, it really feels like he's really taking into Coach Frankie Lim's system. I mean, there was a period of adjustment, especially last conference. They had 3 head coaches at one point in the span of 2 weeks. So, again, happy to see Kevin doing well. The next guy you have here had a quiet game and a very loud game last week. Mikey Williams against Phoenix scored 9 points against Rain or Shine, hit 24, and they needed each and every one of those 24 points against Rain or Shine.
Right.
What makes him special for you this week?
Well, you know, with Mikey, normally, I guess, just from my experience, I could be wrong, but it felt like he normally needs a few games to kind of get the engine going a little bit. He needed 1 game. He had a modest game with 9-10 points in the game, but then he came out against Rain and just performed the usual Mikey Williams. So again, where we want him to get better, defend better. We want him to play both ends and be that elite guy. But is he already a superstar? Of course he is.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to expect that from him. You're going to see that. You're going to see more of that from him.
Right.
And the fact that they also went 2-0 this week, you know, lots of credit goes to him.
And just very quickly, Coach, just a follow-up on Mikey. You've seen a lot of film of Mikey Williams back when you were still coaching against him.
Yeah.
What makes him special? What makes him hard to guard as a scoring guard in the PBA?
You can't guard him. So that's pretty much it. So
Right.
one-on-one, he's probably one of the guys that's hardest to defend. You know, because he can get to the basket. He's got the in-between game, and he's got the step-back 3. So, you know, what else can I say?
Absolutely. Next up, it's this guy's teammate. From the Meralco Bolts, Cliff Hodge.
respect for this guy.
Cliff Hodge is one of the guys that you probably would always hate to play against because he is everywhere on the floor. Every inch of the basketball court has felt Chris Hodge's jersey. So, what made him special last time around?
Well, again, why I put Cliff, and he's the only big guy I have on the list, if you notice. Morocco also played 3 games last week, and you know, I know you guys felt the last game, but again, what made you consistent in the game to win 2 games last week was Cliff. I think.
Yep.
You know, he was everything to you guys, intangibles. He'll you know, hustle guy, energy guy. And my the biggest positive I get from him, and this has been him his whole career, he defends the import.
Yeah.
Right? So if you got a guy that you can rely on to defend the import of the other team, you know, close to 40 minutes, or, you know, do his best and not really stop him. But then you let KJ go to work, Maliksi go to work, Quinto, Newsom.
He'll do the dirty things.
He'll do the dirty things.
Absolutely. And of course, I'd let Jago comment, but then at the moment, we're running out of time.
I just want to say one quick thing for Cliff. What he does in the games, he does it in practice.
I know.
too,
So I'm guessing he's bruised because of Cliff, actually. Okay.
You don't want to fight over screens when it's Cliff. All right.
I agree with
Let's
that.
move on to the next player, Coach. Your last one on the
My
list.
favorite nickname.
Wami Tiongson.
Magic
The
Chongson.
Magic Chongson.
Right. So, you know, Morocco's loss was because of this guy. And, you know, Terra Firma won. Yeah, sorry about that, Jacob. Terra went 1-1 last week. Okay. First game, you know, close game versus Converge, but again, they pulled off a win against you guys. Big game, big fish in my eyes. You cannot deny the 30 points that he scored. He went 6 for 9 from the 3. Just your typical, you know, Wami, unstoppable. And what I love about this kid, he's calm. He's
Super
relaxed.
calm.
Ah,
You can't pressure him.
Always in control,
Yeah.
you know? So, again, his next level, be more consistent.
Yeah.
And then you will reach that next level.
You know, he has range for days. He keeps on shooting, and
That's
all the best to Wami for the rest of the conference. As well, the other guys you mentioned here, Coach. Really appreciate your takes and your candor, and hopefully we can have you again soon.
Sure, no
Thanks,
problem.
Coach.
Thank you.
And after the break, we'll find out what we can expect in the upcoming PVL All-Filipino Conference. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're watching The Game. In just a few days, the PVL will return, this time with its All-Filipino Conference. Let's take a sneak peek to what we can expect in the new season in the recently concluded PVL press con. Let's watch this.
As you all know, we are starting our All-Filipino Conference on February 4, which is about a week from today. And just to let you know, we've decided to change the name of the conference. It used to be the Open Conference. Now we decided to just call it a simple All-Filipino Conference. And this means that we will limit the participants to all Filipino players. So just for your information. And again, thank you very much.
The 9 teams will be playing a single round robin in the elimination round. And then the 19th will buy the top 4 teams will go to the semifinals, and again they will play a single round robin. After the single round robin in the semifinals, the top 2 will play best of 3 finals, and then the next 2 will play best of 3 for third. So that will be our format for this year's All-Filipino Conference.
The PVL is live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday starting February 4. Catch the opening day on One Sports Plus Signal Play, and the Smart Live Stream app.
Alright, so of course, the PVL is gonna come back very, very soon. All-Filipino
Exciting.
Conference. Alam ko sinasabi natin kapag nasa PBA, All-Filipino Conference, the hardest one to win. I can only imagine it will be a bit similar kapag sa volleyball sa PVL. But Jegs, a lot of excitement going on here, a lot of movements and a lot of changes. I mean, it's hard to pick out which one you feel would be most impactful, but then I think the fans can expect, a lot of change going in the first few days.
I mean, we're excited. The fans are excited, especially like you said, with all the movements that happened here in the PVL. So you'll never really know who's gonna stand out because basically a lot of teams they're basically new teams with all their new signings and new players. So it's gonna be very exciting.
One of the things I love is that I remember I was very biased when you signed with the Meralco Bolts. I'm also biased right now for Z Herbacio, who is now signed for the Petrogas Angels. According to her, it's already in her name anyway, yung Angeline, and then she said that it was a bad joke. Z, yes it was. But then when you take a look at of obviously the big moves that we have here, you can only hope that the moves do pan out because a lot of players who probably didn't have a big role in some teams now look to have bigger roles in their new clubs, and I can only imagine how that feels going from place to place in terms of trying to get playing time.
And I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for some players and coaches at the start of the PVL. So, it's going to ramp up as the season progresses, but it's going to be very exciting. The opening's just nearby, and everyone's going to be waiting for those games.
And can you only imagine seeing your favorite player now wearing a different jersey after you've been supporting them for a while, and matetest ka eh.
Especially with the volleyball fans.
Especially
man.
the volleyball
they go
fans,
crazy,
yes.
Social media, live on the venues and all that.
It makes it so much more exciting, and of course how players and teams would treat mga reunions when you face your old teams.
Of course, yeah. A lot of storylines, actually.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much, and of course, credit to all the producers and the writers in our PBL broadcast who will try and make that so much more amazing for all the fans at home. And of course, for those who come out to the venue, it's always going to be an amazing experience as well. But Jegs, we still have a bit more time here. So when you take a look at the PVL coming up, as well as now the ongoing PBA, as well as right now we're thinking about the future in terms of the SEA Games. We saw the SEA Games lineup come out
sports
for
coming
the
up.
men's and women's, and of course Pikers Turf also ongoing. Parang walang tulog yata tayo.
And we have the UAP football coming up, UAP juniors basketball. All of the sports are just, I'm happy for all the sports to be back, pal.
Yeah, of course. So remember, the PVL All-Filipino Conference takes off on February 4, 2023. We'll see you at the venues, and of course, you can catch that all over on Signal, on One Sports, and on Live and Smart Live Stream. Again, really excited for the upcoming conference.
And that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diego Doria.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.